All right, guys, so as you saw, we just removed our turbo that we've been using for sled pulling, but we have this very cool looking box right here, and that is because we are going to be swapping the turbo on the sled pull truck. We are headed today, here in about a couple hours, we are headed to another fair for a pull down in Bronson, Michigan. And they have some very specific rules about turbos. And the class that we want to run, we cannot run this turbo. So we got a hold of KC Turbos, kind of told them what we were looking to do. If you guys remember, last year, the last pull, we actually blew up our stock 2003 turbo. And so I didn't want to go out and get another stock 03 turbo that was just going to explode and fail on me. So we got a hold of KC Turbos. We told them the exact specifications that we were looking for. And man, let me tell you, they put together one of the coolest turbos out there for sled pulling with your 6-liter. So we haven't even opened this sucker up. We're gonna pull it out of here and they always do a killer job with the packaging. So even though we had a little bit of damage on the side of our box here, it don't matter, because if you look inside here, this thing, there's no easy way to get these out. I usually flip them over like that. You can pull them out just like that. Look at this. Okay. So, as you can see, here's our DIY KC turbo that we put together, and then this is the new turbo that they sent us. And this turbo is going to allow us to run at this pull tonight. There are some very specific specifications on this turbo that we talked about. Because we want to keep this turbo alive. And honestly, this one might outflow this one. I can't say for sure, but it might. I'm not going to tell you guys the exact details on this turbo, but we're going to go over some minor details. So the first thing is here on the compressor side, this is a cast wheel on the compressor side. You can see on my other one, we've got a billet wheel. Well, this one is a cast wheel on this side. And then this turbo will plug 2.5. So that's the big thing, is the opening on this turbo. It's going to be able to plug 2.5, and we have a cast wheel. That is the big thing. The other things that they did to this turbo to keep this thing alive is kind of going to be on the down low. We're going to try to keep it a little bit of a secret, but yeah. So this is going to allow us to run basically any of the stock or street diesel classes. You know, the rules are different through amongst a lot of different pulling classes, but this one we've been running with the street diesel class with West Michigan Pullers, 100% legal turbo, and so like I said, this one might outflow this other one, but we're gonna hopefully find out tonight. So we got to get this thing installed, and we're gonna try to get some little bit of a break-in, if you will. And then yeah, like I said, we're already hooked up to the trailer. You can see the sled pull truck here is up on the trailer. So we're gonna get this thing slapped on here, fire it up, make sure everything checks out. We're gonna go truck pulling. One of the things that makes installing these so easy is when you have shameless plug, when you have a set of LLD up pipes. I'm telling you guys, the one-piece up pipes that are available on my website makes this just a breeze for swapping out turbos. So we're not going to be loosening up down at the manifolds or anything like that. So when you first get your up pipes, this is going to mate up beautifully because you're still going to be loose at the manifolds. But even if you were to swap turbos, you don't have to go underneath the truck and try and loosen those back up to make the connection up here. And what I'm going to show you guys, this truck has seen north of 2,000 EGTs on a fairly regular basis between last year and this year. And these up pipes, the bellows in the up pipes, everything has lasted very, very well. So we just dropped it in. It's currently sitting on the dowels for the pedestal. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna reach back there, we're gonna grab our up pipes, and they're already super, super close, but they just need just a slight pull up, and then they'll be able to lock in. There is a groove on the turbo housing, and then there is a groove on the up pipes, and we just gotta get those to mate. And once they mate, that connection is together, and now you can throw your clamp around it. All right, so like I said, the turbo is currently sitting in its dowels, and you can see this gap right here, and that's what we don't want. If you were to throw this clamp around this gap, you are gonna have a major, major exhaust leak. So all we're gonna do is with our one hand from the driver's side, all it needs to do is you can feel the turbo lip and you can feel the up pipe lip. You can tell that it needs to come up like a millimeter. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna grab it and you're gonna see it pop right in. Just like that. And you see that gap just absolutely disappear. And now we can let go of it and it's gonna stay in that spot. So now we can just grab our clamp. We can throw our clamp around there, get it started here, get it in position, and that clamp is ready to be tightened up, and that up pipe is going to seal perfectly to that turbo. All right, guys, so our turbo is installed, ready to go. We pre-lubed it, and learned something about this pipe over here. So one, we do need to update our AC line so it goes under, not over. But then also loosening up this battery gives you enough room here to get that connection made, because man, it is just tight for these larger pipes in here with this Banks ram system. So little key feature there, little key tip is under your battery, scoot it over, get your pipe on, and then tighten down your battery again. Now we're going to leave our intake off because where we're headed, they're going to be checking our turbo. So we're just going to go ahead and leave it off. But let's go ahead and fire up the truck here. And yeah, we'll just let it idle for a little bit. And then, I don't know, we'll give it a couple of revs. Hopefully the old 6-liter here starts. We were at a pull last night. We ended up taking first. Went 24 miles an hour. All right, guys, so the test drive was a success. We got the turbo broke in. She makes good power and good boost, and we didn't blow any boots off, so that was imperative. And yeah, we're loaded up. We're gonna go to Bronson, and yeah, we're gonna try to fit this all into one video. Let's do it.
Son of a bitch.
2.5. This is 2.55. You can see it's just slightly bigger.
I can't remember exactly the size, but it's closest one.
60.
It is an aftermarket turbo.
Pardon me?
It is an aftermarket turbo.
It's a stock 03 turbo. Brand new stock 03 turbo.
They're 60 something.
They're supposed to be 61 if they're stock.
We broke the old one. That's why. That's why they're still paying on the
The old
accessories.
one at St. Joe last year.
I was gonna say, they're gonna smoke. I do like the setup you did on the truck paint-wise.
I mean,
Kind of
you can see it's definitely bigger than 2.5.
It's not plugging with the 255.
I mean, you can see.
Well, that's not what we expected.
I feel like it's not going down in there. All right, guys, so we made it out to Bronson. We've got the truck. We're trying to let it cool off. We had a little bit of couple of issues at the scales. We were a couple 100 pounds over, so we had to dump some weight, but then they didn't really have a good plug for our turbo. But fortunately, after dumping some weight and talking with them, they came up with a good plug. So they were able to plug our turbo. We are good to go. Gonna have some fun. You can hear they're auctioning off the trucks right now. We're gonna try to have somebody buy this old girl here. But yeah, we're gonna have some fun. Let's do it. right, guys, so it is the day after our truck pull down in Bronson. You guys just saw we wrapped up, had a couple different angles of the truck pulling. We went 300 some odd feet, had a really good hook on the track. You can see about 200, 250. We kind of hit a soft spot. You see me kind of turn the wheel a little bit when we did hit that soft spot. That was kind of a bummer, but we did only end up with second place. We got beat. There was a 6.4 Powerstroke that went out and went 309. So he put 9 feet on us. Thankfully, it's another Ford. So the Fords still are winning. But yeah, 6.4 Powerstroke beat us. So it's hard to compete with those guys in the stock application, being that their trucks come with compound turbos, and when those suckers are running good, they run good. So that is a difficult 9 feet to make up. I think he did have a better line than we did. He definitely didn't hit that same soft spot that I did. We weren't making the mile per hour that he was. And I think it had a little bit to do with the line. Probably could have locked up a little bit sooner on the torque converter, but nonetheless, had a great time down there. Unfortunately, we had a little bit of a struggle trying to get through tech. Nonetheless, the truck did its job. We did our job, and we drove it back on the trailer and went home. So, thank you. Huge shout out to KC Turbos. They pulled through for us big time on that turbo for that event. We're going to continue to use that turbo. Test it out and basically, well, torture test it, if you will. If you guys are looking for something similar to that, it's not something that they just sell. You're going to have to reach out to them, let them know that LLD sent you over there, and then they might hook you up with a similar type setup for your truck if you're doing some sled pulling. So thank you guys for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and we will catch you guys on the next sled pull event.